Well, hello everyone out there in Throwbacks Land. Today we're going to look at a few G.I. Joes that going to be kind of a quick review. Just want to do an unboxing more or less. I've had these guys sitting around for a while now and been meaning to do this, so without all the flim flam, let's get to it. So first off, we're going to look at Bazooka, or they like to use his real name, David L. Katzenbogen, or David L. Bazooka Katzenbogen, for some reason. So probably due to copyright of Bazooka, I guess. And he comes in the packaging where you can't see him. And I was told this is going to be the last wave of that, so we'll see. We'll see. Either way, doesn't bother me as bad as it bothers some people, because I just throw these things away. So let's get after it. Apparently, if you just rip the front off, it looks not bad. And there he is, old Bazooka. And he's got his little locker of gear, which is kind of cool. I mean, obviously I'm not keeping this, but it's got his name on it, and he is number 62, and it is in very G.I. Joe futuristic military fashion there. And oh, it's wrapped in Cobra stuff. My joke earlier is the money they spend on printing this Cobra designs on this paper for our extra $5 a figure is going. Anyway, here's his bazooka that looks really cool. Put that here for now. Oh. There's his Kevlar helmet, which in traditional bazooka style is not connected. You can just, the strapping hangs freely, as it does. And let's see, what is this? Is this part of the bazooka? Yep, sure enough. Cool. And it's very bazooka-looking backpack, where his rounds, his bazooka mortars or ammunition or whatever, rockets, I guess. They're technically rockets. And they fit in there pretty good. And now, and you can see they are different colors, have different things on them. So I guess it's kind of reminiscent of how every javelin that Lady J had in the cartoon did something different. Maybe it's the same. Maybe that's his Charlie Brown round. I don't know. I'm probably way off. There's probably people that know the answer to that. But here's Bazooka. He looks good. And he is tied in there like he was not meant to be going anywhere for a while. It's weird. If you bought figures in the late 90s, early 2000s, your figures that are carded now are probably the little plastic or rubber bands like this. They're probably rotting and so forth. But if you keep your guys carded now, maybe that won't happen, because this is more of like a cardboard kind of material. It's like paper, like those crappy straws they give you at Starbucks. Anyway, all right, let's get Bazooka kind of straightened out. Yeah, right out of the box, they're always a little disoriented, which, you know, I would be too if I was in a little paper box. But, let's take a look at him. He looks good. good looking dude. Got his traditional number 14 jersey, and green pants and boots, and backpack, in traditional Joe fashion, just attaches to his back with zero way of that staying on there, other than he has a metal attachment in his spine that magnets on there, but who knows. And there we go. Looks good. That's the bazooka. And now we need an Alpine to do it. Let's see, here is his bazooka. And I'm sure he will hold this just fine. But I do have some trouble typically right out of the box putting these accessories in their hands. But there he is. Can mess with him a little differently later, but there he is, bazooka. Looks good. Very pleased. And next up is going to be Craig Rock and Roll McConnell, or just Rock and Roll as you and I know him. So this is a little different take on the old Rock and Roll that we know. He's all tatted up. He's got more of the kind of early 2000s Devil's Due looking uniform to him, which is I guess okay. I would prefer it if it was just a straight homage to the 1982 character, but I digress. Let's get him out of here, and let's see, similar to Bazooka, you just rip the front off of this bad boy. It's kind of cool. And he's already in there like, really, bro? Come on. Like, alright, man. And his Foot Locker says 71 Rock and Roll, which I'm glad it just says Rock and Roll. I'm kind of annoyed when they put people's whole names in. That's the whole point of having a code name. But I get it. It's a toy. It's copyrighted. Let's rip him off of there. And that's kind of a cool picture. Like the way his face looks on there. I actually have a good buddy in real life that looks just like this dude. So anyway, I don't want to put his name out there in case you don't want it out there, but he knows who he is. He knows what he looks like. And again with the paper bondage gear, let's get him out of here. Get rid of that. And alright, he looks good. His uniform, like I said, it's a little weird. It's not very traditional Joe's, but I do like his head sculpt. I do like his gear. If you remember the Rock and Roll that came out in later years, I want to say maybe 89, 90, I forget, but they had a little, little wrist thing like this, which is kind of weird. I wouldn't do that. I would do this, but anyhow. Let's open up his locker and oops. Hang on, let me get his locker real quick. The heck did I throw that thing? Sorry, folks. It was actually camouflaged. And again with the fancy paper. Oh, there we go. Oh, cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. Well, hopefully I didn't throw anything away. Alright, and he's got his... what is this? Some kind of cardboard to protect it. That's kind of cool. Of course, I'm going to carefully take this off. carefully. What's gonna come off? Voila. Alright, there's his traditional machine gun. It's pretty cool. Very reminiscent of the early figure. And it is, oops, a belt-fed, fully automatic machine gun. I'm not 100% sure which type. Kind of reminds me of a saw. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will correct me. And there's his helmet, which has a lot of stuff on there. It says Hang 10 on here. His rock and roll was originally a surfer from California. Kind of a cool fact. I always loved that when Larry Hama designed or wrote the file cards, he kind of more or less based them on people that he knew. So I would love to pick his brain one day and be like, who was rock and roll? What surfer dude did you know? He's got a radio, which I guess could go in any one of these little spots here. Oops, or not. We'll just put it over here for now. And he's got a good ammo case. I think that goes here. Or not. We'll see. And I'm not gonna change him out, but you get the idea. He's got different hands where he can do rock and roll, brother. It's pretty cool. Got some more ammo. And his sidearm, which fits in the holster nicely. Alright. And there he is. Next to Bazooka. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, the thing I do like about these newer Joes is they have a good, like, sturdy kind of feel to them right out of the box. Some of the past ones, you open them up and they kind of have like a kind of a fidgety quality about them, you know, if you like move their, actually he's doing that, kind of, you move their leg, you know, they don't have O-rings like we're used to, but maybe it's just the legs really that are like that, because the arms are really good, the ankles are nice and sturdy for posing. Anyway, let's get on to the next guy. Alright, and next up, we're gonna have Torpedo, or they again have incorporated his real name as Edward Torpedo Lealoha, because my man is from Hawaii. He is number 73. He is the team's first SEAL. And pretty cool. Aloha. Torpedo. Or Pedo is for some reason they called him in the cartoon. Because I believe this is supposed to be more reminiscent of the cartoon, because you can see the deadly lampreys from the, I think it was the first or second, I think it was the second miniseries they did, where they had this whole big underwater battle. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, let's get to it. You can watch G.I. Joe, the cartoon, on Tubi, at least I think you still can, or Hasbro's YouTube channel. Or if you're like me and you just have all the DVDs still, just watch those. And there he is in his little box. Well, this time I'm not going to lose his locker. I'm going to put it right here. And he looks cool. He's in there. The picture behind him is him and his breathing apparatus from his diving gear. And probably would have stood up perfectly had I not ripped him out of there like that. Now his legs and arms are all janky now. But like I say, I don't really mind this papery bondage material, whatever. And that's good. My initial thought is he looks a lot more like he's supposed to, like his original figure. And you don't get a whole head sculpt of him, so to speak. But you do get his face, which is, that was one thing I hated about the original Torpedo figure is you didn't really, once you have his diving gear, that's what he looked like. You couldn't see his features or couldn't see his face. That's what I'm saying. So, all right, there he is, just by himself. Before we put all his stuff on. And he comes with quite a bit of stuff, so I'm trying to be careful. And here is his backpack. I'm probably not going to put on his diving fins. You get the idea. So, they look cool. And I'm going to try to do this because I know this some kind of way goes together. Aha. He has kind of a new looking breathing tank, which doesn't look like his original one, but what do you do? And at least it doesn't go right into his spine. It does give you some strapping to give you the illusion of some real world strapping that he would attach this to himself. And of course I can't get it in there, so to speak. Alright, that's good enough for now. You get the point. And his face mask goes on there. Looks pretty cool. Alright. Something about his nose sticking out like that kind of reminds me of like he's ready to do the Humpty. Kind of wish he'd had more traditional looking goggles, but still pretty cool. And you'll notice I don't have the Cobra Eel because that is impossible to find. And they insist on doing these exclusives, which sucks. But I'll find him eventually because I feel like he's definitely got an eel to go with. Yeah, I'll show you his harpoon gun. It's pretty cool. Doesn't come out or fire or anything. It's just kind of rubbery, which probably means he can hold it good. Because a lot of times you'll have a stiff weapon or something and it just doesn't want to go in their hand. And I don't like breaking stuff right out of the box. I've done that enough in my life, so try to be careful. And yep, I've already kind of bent the end of this thing, but just mess with it. It'll go right back. And he comes with another little machine gun, and you get the idea. And it has a magazine. It's not a clip, it's a magazine. And there you go. That's cool. And again, I don't want to put his flippers on, but that's cool. I dig it. And there he is next to Bazooka. And where did Rock and Roll go? Here he is. He's a little smaller than they are, which, you know, maybe they're big guys, I don't know. But there they are. Bazooka, Torpedo, and Rock and Roll. Some very fine additions to my G.I. Joe team. Very glad I picked these guys up. They're all A+. Alright, I'm just going to scoot these over here in my ever-growing pile of junk. And we're going to look at one more dude. This is Copperhead. Copperhead originally came with the water moccasin vehicle back in, I want to say, 1983 or 4. I forget what year. Shame on me, I should know. Probably 83, because he still had the head that you could only turn left and right. Anyway, my first impression of this packaging was the little breathing apparatus on his helmet kind of looked like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction for some reason. I could imagine Shipwreck saying, "Bring out the Gimp." Anywho, still pretty cool looking. He is number 72. And he's a little different than the original. I should have brought out the original figures to compare with these guys, which of course I have them all, but didn't think about it. Just trying to get through this. So, you know, Cobra, Copperhead. This is the only Cobra that we're going to look at today. Of course, they put out way more Joes than Cobras, but that's fine. Now we're going to just tear right in. And he's probably going to look similar. Like Copperhead. And he's got a locker. Copperhead 72. Put that here. Get him out of his little box. And, kind of the same deal. Has a little nice little portrait in the back. Alright, get out of here. Oh. Gosh, that is not. It's almost like they're. It's almost like these were real alive things. People that they were trying to legitimately prevent from escaping out of these boxes. Weird. Anyway, there he is. He stands just fine. He looks good. He's got his traditional uniform. And he looks good. I feel like the colors are a little darker, probably a little more realistic. And a little tattoo there. If you can see that, it's kind of cool. And his helmet is not removable, sadly. That would have been a cool feature. It's got his armbands that have slipped down a little bit. Try to get that back in place. But these guys stand up really good. It's like they copied that design that in the comics in the early 2000s they were being drawn with these like kind of thick, like Frankenstein kind of boots, which look kind of not military realistic, but hey, if you're gonna make an action figure, hey, it makes them stand up. It's great. So he's got a silver Cobra logo. He's got his gun holster, which is just one piece. Sadly, you can't put a gun in it, but I bet you can put one here. Let's take a look in his locker. It's got the cool Cobra logo on it. Again, he is 72. And more Kung Fu grip toilet paper. He comes with a cool machete, a pistol, a larger pistol, something Dirty Harry would love to have, and I believe this is for the his machete, maybe? Oh, just his business. Oh, okay. I get it now. Derp. And I'm sure that closes just fine once you mess with it a little bit. It's not going to right now, of course, because I'm on the spot. Anyway, it's going to go in his back. And let's see if the sword does go in here. The machete, sorry. Yep, there it is, voila. Alright. So, pretty cool looking figure. Dig it. I like the fact they gave him a tattoo. The original figure didn't have a tattoo. But he holds his gun really well. And let's put it in his holster. And this is kind of, well, I'm sure that closes after a bit of messing around. I don't want to waste your time. So, Copperhead, pretty cool. Bazooka. And you know, when these figures first came out, you know, they were just missing the mark for me. They were too different than their original characters, their original figures, or the characters in the cartoon. They didn't look right, really. But I think they have course corrected, and they look quite nice. Really happy I picked these guys up and added to my collection, which my classified shelf in my toy room is now 2 shelves because they keep making more of these things and I keep buying them. I do recommend these. I think they're cool. If you like G.I. Joe, you can still get these on Amazon and various toy shops. Big Bad Toy Store usually has them. Entertainment Earth usually has them. And I'm sure there's other places, but, or, you know, Target, Walmart, maybe, yeah, Ollie's probably at some point. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If not, let me know. If so, let me know. And anyway, Yo Joe!